¿Cómo estás hoy? De la bienvenida a mis amigas a mi estudio de obras de arte inspiradas en la hermosa ciudad de Barcelona, España. Welcome to my studio, and I want to let you know tonight we're inspired from my favorite city, Barcelona, Spain, but it's called Barcelona. So tonight at CityArts, and thank you all of you who hung that show, you're going to see my piece called Worlds Gaudi Frilli. Well, right here next to me is a cousin to that piece. I'm doing 17 in the series from the Ciudad de Barcelona. So in here, Antonio Gaudi, he's an architect to Spain as Frank Lloyd Wright was to the United States of America. So these true incredible minds. And think about this. Frank Lloyd Wright inspired so much architecture in Antonio Gaudi in Barcelona. He was born in 1852. 1852, he died in 1926. But with my piece here, which you'll see, go to CityArts, because Kat and Barbara and Haani and all their helpers, they hung that show just for you, so please go physically visit the show and take a look at my piece up close, because there's some very wonderful elements I want to show you about this. It looks very three-dimensional, but it's actually flat, completely flat, and my wonderful husband, thank you, he is videoing taping this for tonight, so he's going to sneak around this corner and show you the 3D effect. It's not 3D, but it's actually flat. So if you can come onto this side, pretty please, see that registration, and my glazing process and my liquid makes part of it shiny. If you can come flat, go as flat as you can. There we go. Okay, there we are. Thank you. So now we're going to go back to a little bit of the style that I use. And I want to show you something very special about Antonio Gaudi. So this is inside of his structure. This is the outside of the building called La Pedrera or Casa Milá. So here's the incredible ceilings that we want to show you of the families that they, if you can come into the light please. So here's the families right here. These were some of their apartment ceilings when they lived inside their homes. This has now been made into a restaurant. But this is the things that I photographed many, many times. So I took hundreds of pictures. These are just a few. And so from those, I was inspired by his white building. But something that's important here is that with Antonio Gaudi being an architect, he was inspired by nature. He studied it. So he had a style that was called freedom of form. It was called organic unity. And his buildings and his interiors were a metaphor for the mountains and the maritime space around the area of Catalana, the Catalan area. And so my background, which I love, is geology, engineering. So with this, we can see these beautiful ripple marks that would occur under the water. And then he did many more playful things in here. So when you go to CityArts, I think it's 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Kat will be there to say hello. You'll see actually the original piece. Even though it's very flat, it looks very 3D. So this is very, very special for this style of art. And I want to thank everybody for here. I'm doing a pre-recorded video because I'm teaching a class tonight while you all are watching this live. So I thank you so much for all of you. Oh, back to my style though. Wait a minute. So what I do is I do just a value study, that is light to dark. And then I do a special glazing technique to add in just layers, very thin layers of color. So that brings a subtlety. So when you'll see it at CityArts, the closer you get to some of these spaces, it might show tonight. If my husband can come in, I'm going to get a little light on here. And we can see a little bit of the color in some of these spaces here. The burnt umber and the ochre, we have violets, so that helps us see a little bit that's going on. So more, you'll see more of the color. I think our glazing is too much. So that was a fun little journey. And so again, muchas gracias, mis amigas. Come, bienvenidas, and come to CityArts for all the hard work that was showing there. And so I say in Italiano, arrivederci, but in Spain I say ciao.